Good morning, Reaper audience. Hey, whoa, it's morning for one thing. That's just weird enough, right? I am Anne. I am Reaper Miniatures. Well, now I'm staff painter again. I was hired on as staff painter. I also created the Master Series paint lines, and now I am re-staff painting here and there and also doing videos. So exciting. Hi, welcome to the new show, you guys. Let's see, everybody. Yes, I've got my clan here. Yes, woohoo. Hi, Nomad Zeke. Hi, Planar Crossroads. Hi, everybody. Hi, Sigwolf. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone? Hopefully we're catching some of you on your lunch hours or dinner hours or sometime that you actually have time to watch. Wanted to experiment a little bit with different time slots so that maybe more people could tune in. All right. It is Justin today.
It is Justin.
Yes, with his sultry tones. Yes.
Sultry. That's the best I got. Sultry is not
the best he's got. Hello, RG Wolf. Hello, everybody. Hello, Princess Zelda and Jenna Rose. Hello, hello, hello. So, the new show, as we call it, is not like Dragon Wednesday, which we've been doing for ages. But Pro Tips is really meant for me to like showcase a particular type of tip that's relatively short. So, you know, we're not gonna have a huge long stream today. If we do, Justin yells at me. But we're going to kind of just showcase a different topic every week. So we're going to be going through different models. I believe Collins put up the list somewhere of at least the next few episodes. So actually, if you wanted to paint along, or even if you just wanted to follow along after the case, you could. Justin's sexy voiced. Planar Crossroads says, you've got sultry nailed. It is 6 p.m. Well, hey, that's after work, right, Meladrak?
I'll take it.
He'll take it. He'll take anything he can.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So today we are working on, hey, you didn't return me my little, I need my little cheat sheet, Justin, of what this dude is.
Oh, no.
I need the item number.
Don't worry. I got you here.
Well, all right.
77457.
77457.
It's also Fire Giant and Hellhound.
Yes, but there is currently no Hellhound on this arm because we are not Hellhounding today. We are Fire Gianting today. So yeah, yay! All right, so we're gonna like do dark skin on a Fire Giant today, and if I get, if I go through it fast, I might do some like glowing eyes. Otherwise, we might do glowing eyes next time, or next time we see Fire Giant.
But real quick, the purpose of this show, for everyone curious, this is meant to be a very short, very sweet, very information-dense show, where we basically kind of show you how to just do things on individual models. There's going to be lots of different models, and it's going to go up on YouTube. I think I'm going to try to get up there quicker than the others if I'm allowed to through Twitch, but its purpose is going to be more to learn. I'm going to paint dark skin on this exact model.
Targeted.
I can target and I can watch.
Targeted.
Yes, I can watch and literally do that.
Yes.
So that is it's
so
it's meant to be very short.
if you have a bunch of Fire Giants, because everybody's got a bunch of Fire Giants from the past Bones Kickstarters, right? And you need to get them done. We're going to talk about one way to do dark skin today with different colors than usual.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome.
With that being said, it's meant to be quick, fast, and
He wants me to be speedy. We all know that this is just really not possible, but I will be as speedy-ish. How about that? Speedy-ish. So yeah, awesome.
That being said, you ready to go?
Subs. Hi, subs.
Yes, thank you for the subs.
Thank you.
We're not doing giveaways for this show this week. We have to work out kind of logistics.
Yeah, logistics.
Giveaways are
Justin needs help.
Yeah, giveaways are getting kind of, as far as the number, kind of out of hand because they're getting kind of crazy. But that's okay. That's fine. We just have to.
Yeah. So.
I
may have to help Justin mail stuff out. Otherwise, Justin's going to be so buried under giveaways that he doesn't have any time to like help us with streams, and that would be a crime.
That would be a crime.
You wouldn't be able to hear his sultry voice anymore if you did that.
Oh no.
All right. Well, actually, really quick, want to switch to minicam for me there, Justin? All right, awesome.
Yes.
So I wanted to talk to you guys. I'm actually using a Reaper brush today. I decided I wanted to. This is the brush that I used to use all the time as a staff painter when Reaper got Kolinsky's. It is the MSP Kolinsky Sable, which is essentially a type of watercolor brush. It's a very high-quality sable with a very good tip. When you choose a new brush in the packaging, I've already taken the tubule off of this one, but you want to look for some things. You want to make sure that the brush comes to a nice point in the packaging. You want to see a nice taper from the where it comes out of the ferrule to the tip. You don't want a big bulge because that probably won't hold a very good point. And you want to see that it does have a nice tip in the packaging. You can make all these decisions before you even purchase the brush, so essentially it gives you a slightly better chance to get a really good brush out of the package, because as these are handmade, you do get some variance in the build. So essentially, there, a little micro tool on how to choose a brush when you are looking at them in the store. Sweet. Frost Giants. Well, we can talk about Frost Giants too. when we get there. So what I've done, guys, these are the colors that I'm using to paint his skin. I like the kind of, I wanted something vaguely natural, but I didn't want to just paint him with our normal skin triad. So, okay, so normally, and you could put Mwangi Brown in here if you want, because it's a good middle stage. That's the Pathfinder dark skin. But usually, with dark skin in normal humans, I would choose like Ebony Flesh, Mwangi Brown, Ruddy Flesh, and then I would usually mix in Lemon Yellow or NMM Gold Highlight into this Ruddy Flesh to get a higher highlight. But this guy is not natural. He is a fire giant. So I'm dropping the golden tones out of there entirely. And instead, we're going to be using Volcano Brown, a very classic old Pro Paint color that's been reborn into MSP, 9268. And for shading, I actually like to use blue liner because I like the contrast that the blue gives to like the red hair and the fiery ideas that that the fire giant usually has. So we've got our palette all mixed up already over here. And I'm using just the way I start mixing. It's 8 drops of paint, and I added 3 drops of water to each of these. So that's the consistency, and then I work from there. The base coat, since it was over bones, I did do a full strength ebony skin with no, what am I saying? No thinning, thank you. See, it's morning and I need more caffeine, obviously. But that's all right. So all right, let's look at this. So yeah, full strength ebony, I kind of look at it. It looks pretty solid to me. So let's do some shadows and see if I can even see them on the camera. I'm gonna leave these pretty harsh at first. What I'm looking at is how the light falls. You guys can kind of see how the highlights here are on the muscles. See how the light hits the pecs. You kind of want to remember that as you're highlighting, and you want to shade on the opposite side of the model from that. So I'm just going to kind of block in first, and then I'm going to worry about shading. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, so you see how that is actually darker than the skin tone, even though the skin tone looks hugely dark on this camera. So I'm going to pretty much kind of line and brush in, block in highlights underneath. And this is, again, blue liner. I haven't thinned it too much because the reason for that is when you work faster, when you want to work faster, it's often a lot faster to start by blocking in and then worry about blending it a little bit, especially if you're doing gaming models where you don't expect to blend it like extremely well anyway. So if you're trying to get this guy on the table, I want to put a shadow. I'm putting a pretty heavy shadow underneath his collar here because there would be a heavy shadow under that. So, and I always use this technique, even if I'm not doing a true zenith like highlighting scheme, just using the lamp to see where your highlights and shadows fall is a quick tip that I always utilize because that way I'm always double checking myself. This works too if you're doing a lighting effect. If I'm doing like a sideways where the light is coming from the side, I can just tilt my model and kind of make a note of where the shadows fall there and change accordingly. So you do utilize your light sourcing of your lamp. It is a good thing of having a light source directly near. Paint water blend, coffee. I cannot do coffee. I do tea. Coffee rips me apart. But I do love my tea, so I'm good with that. Coffee's just a little too acidic for me these days.
I love coffee. I actually, not only that,
I used to.
I usually press my coffee. I don't drip it or anything like
Oh, whoa, he's hardcore, guys.
Like, no, really though. In the last year or two, I've gotten really into coffee. Different roasts, different everything. Like, it's crazy how much. And in fact, it's gotten to the point now where my fiance, she's like, just buy Folgers. And I'm like,
oh, horrible!
I'm
what
not,
kind of woman is she?
And listen, if you're in a pinch, Folgers is fine.
Hey, Tarzan the Barbarian.
But I won't let that crap come into my house.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree on that. I mean, other coffees are just so much better. If you're going to drink this stuff, at least drink something that tastes good.
I also grind the beans fresh whenever I make coffee. So.
See, coffee aficionado Justin. I had no idea. Awesome.
I agree, Watchford. Rick. Bald is beautiful. Mainly because I don't have hair, but...
So you're biased, is what you're telling us. I'm going to put a little bit of a dark
Lady
line.
Ezra. It is nasty. Folgers is gross.
Yeah. Lately I really like, I forget, it's like Yogi Teas or something, but they've got a green and black blend that's a vanilla spice, and I love that in the morning. Love it. I also used to go really high into like Pugh tea. I used to like the flavored ones. I had a chocolate orange, and I do like flavored teas. I cannot lie. But lately I've been trying to cut down on my caffeine level a little because I don't like to be dependent on it for getting going in the morning. So I've been doing more greens and more black-green blends to cut down. I'm just gonna put a shadow
I like
underneath
flavored
this.
tea too. I tried to get into it, but I couldn't really.
Yeah.
And also, Reaper is my addiction. That's actually like I think low key the dark horse of the coffee
What is
industry is when you get the red brick coffee beans, like the bulk beans from Winco. That coffee is low key the best like priced pound for pound coffee I feel like you can buy without getting really expensive into some fine like roasts. I do love that coffee.
There's some really, yeah. Well, nowadays at like Sprouts and Whole Foods, you can find some really nice coffee from different areas. I forget, there was one in Maine, from Maine that I really liked. And there's a couple of Canadian ones that are really good. Canadians seem to like their coffee.
Well, if you ever remember what they are, tell me, because I'm always on the lookout for new,
something new.
Yeah, for new roasts.
Yes. Do you like dark roasts? Do you like medium, or do you like?
I like them all, actually. It just depends on the time of day. I do. It depends on the time of day. Like.
Yeah. I've had the good roast sweet and spicy. I really like that one, Princess Zelda. Did you try the mango sweet and spicy, the black tea one? Because that one was really good, but more of a summer tea. Lately, I'm more into the winter teas. I do drink herbal tea in the evening because I don't want to caffeinate myself, and I like the what was I doing the other day? The rooibos chai I actually like quite a bit. And then there's a chocolate mint chai from one of my a tea place I found in Santa Fe actually that I really love. It's called Artisan Tea. I really like their stuff.
I've kept an eye on.
Oh, Black Rifle, yeah.
Yes, I've kept an eye on that. Is that stuff actually good? Because they have really good marketing.
Who, Artisan?
No, Black Rifle.
Oh, Black Rifle. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've heard good things about them.
I have too. I don't think I've ever heard a review where it's like, but like they have really good marketing.
Stumptown, you need to be taking notes. Look at this. Like, there's all these people giving you coffee companies. Stumptown out of the Pacific Northwest.
I'm gonna try it all.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to order it online, but sometimes you can get a deal that way. I actually, even though they're kind of more mainstream, more like Starbucks these days, Pete's Coffee had some good ones that I always liked. And getting their stuff straight from them, so it's fresh ground, is totally worth it. And sometimes they're like they have holiday flavors, and that's cool too. All right, I'm just lining pretty much and shading here, so I'm just blocking in my blue liner. I lined around his eyes. It's hard to see. I know dark skin makes it very hard to see. There we go. So now you can see the shadows on his forehead with the blue liner there, and I lined around his eyes, and I lined around his nose. The nice thing about the blue liner not being that much darker than the skin, by the way, guys, is that you can put it on thick, but you still look like you've blended it. So it's cheaty. It's cheaty blending. The closer together two colors are that you're trying to blend, the thicker you can make them and still have a good blend. That's a general tip. Pretty much applies to everything with blending. But since we're not doing crazy blending, let us get to the highlights. Let's see if I can put on, I'm betting I'm going to have to mix or thin this Volcano Brown. Those are your two choices, by the way, when you're blending. If you want a smoother blend and you're using layering, you can either do a 50-50 mix of your highlight color and the color before it, or you can thin down your highlight color and build it up in layers. And usually, if you're trying to do gaming models, it makes more sense to do a mix of the two. But I'm going to see how this goes. So let's start on his head, since y'all are talking about baldness. So the head is essentially a cylinder on this model, because it's kind of long this way, but then it's rounded. So the light is going to fall directly on top of it, and it's going to spread out to either side. Since there is presumably, well, in human heads, there would be a little bit of oil and stuff up there, skin oils. So essentially what you're doing is you want your brightest highlight to be on top of the head, and you want to kind of fade it down as it drops down the sides, down into the normal skin color. I've got some wrinkles here. There's a scar or a piece of hair that got out of hand. I was not sure what it was. So kind of like that. Can you see? There you are. So you can see how it's a little bit brighter. I did a couple of layers up here at the top, and here I'm just using kind of a vertical stroke. You can even see my brush strokes there. In a gaming model, I wouldn't care that you could see my brush strokes. If you did want to blend this in, you just need to take a little bit of your previous color, ebony skin in this case, or ebony flesh rather, and probably want to thin it down just a little tad and come at it from the opposite direction to blend it in.
Also, Nomad,
Quick.
we don't. You can ship us stuff.
Fast.
People do all the time. They ship us, chocolates.
Good
and,
afternoon, everyone. Corinco.
random stuff like that. But we just don't encourage it necessarily.
Yeah.
But people do ship us stuff like that.
Yes, they ship us presents.
They do. They ship
We do
us
appreciate presents.
and we do appreciate them. So
It's best if it's a present that can be shared with everyone, though.
absolutely.
Because we like people send us food presents like chocolates or snacks and stuff for the holidays, and we always get them shared in the break room, so everybody gets a little fatter over the holidays.
And I'm definitely not going to turn down someone who, if you swear by a particular coffee, and you feel ever so inclined to ship it up here, I promise I'll drink it.
Yes, you just have to definitely address it to Justin then, so it isn't
Yeah.
snagged by some other coffee hound.
That's true, yes. Although, is there anyone else up here who's a coffee hound besides myself?
I'm pretty sure we might have some stealth coffee hounds down in packaging.
Oh,
I never know what they're drinking.
C-Not, thank you for the raid, man.
Oh, we got a raid? Yay!
Yeah, C-Not's really cool. How you doing, man?
Let's see here. So I'm just kind of blending in this highlight a little bit by adding a little bit of my ebony flesh back into my volcano brown. And there's a pretty heavy brow ridge here. You guys can see how the light just cuts off there. So there, underneath that, I can put my blue liner shadow.
Yes, San Antonio, I prefer whole beans.
Yeah, whole beans is awesome. That is the way to go. I like a whole leaf tea usually too. Although I do the yogi, tea bags in the morning because it's easy, but I also have whole leaf. With green tea, I tend to like whole leaf better.
Now, one thing I do know that Ed didn't want a bunch of people doing was shipping us a bunch of alcohol.
Yeah,
So
don't do that. That would be very bad. Please do not do that.
Yeah, people have sent us alcohol, which is cool. We love it. Like, that's cool. But we definitely want to discourage the massive shipment of alcohol to us because that's,
Yeah.
you can't really regulate who gets their hands on it, and there's plenty of underage people here.
Yes.
So.
Well, and also we don't want to really be drinking while we're working. Or maybe we want to, but we're not allowed to. So,
See, C-Not's a coffee hound as well. Good on you, C-Not.
Yay. Yep, I will find my tea brethren. I know I will.
Actually, Planet Crossroads, I believe, said that they...
They're into
let's see
tea.
here. They took 8 years to perfect a chai tea recipe, I believe is what they
Oh,
said.
yummy.
Yeah, and they said they were going to post the recipe on Twitter or something, right, Planer?
Do you use whole cloves in it, Planer? Because whole cloves and cinnamon stick.
You can address it directly to someone if you'd like to. That's fine, too.
It will have a higher chance of actually getting to a person that you
Yes.
want it. Especially like if you wanted to send anything to us, the show, probably address it to Justin, because then you can put a note inside saying, hey, this tea is for Anne, this coffee is for Justin, this, dog toy is for Collins, because Collins just got a new dog, if you didn't all know, and she's adorable.
Actually, no, Greek. I only basically seal my coffee. So I try to seal it as airtight as I can when I'm not, like the whole beans, to keep them longer, because I only grind them in small batches for the coffee I'm drinking that day. So
Do you
I try
freeze
to,
beans, Justin?
No, I do not. Do not put them in the freezer. They do not get cold. I even try to humidity control them if I can. So
This is the man who's going to own a sous vide in a few years. Once he, you're going to get so many kitchen toys.
It's hilarious you say that because I've already ordered one.
I knew it. I had you totally pegged.
The other one, the other thing that I also love to do is I've perfected a pan sear on a ribeye.
Oh yeah, me too.
McKaylee swears by
Cast
it.
iron.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. No,
Oh,
nothing,
yeah. Yep.
nothing but cast iron.
Nothing but cast iron on steak, you guys. Okay, just trust us. We're Texan.
Unless it's a grill, which is okay.
Well, yeah,
if you're going to do a reverse sear, which you can do with sous vide, sous vide is it's the way to go.
I don't know. I get good results on sous videing, so I'm gonna resist the another kitchen appliance draw for now. I do have a lot of kitchen appliances as it stands. All right, so guys, just so for those of you who came in late, we are doing Fire Giant skin, we are doing dark skin, and we are essentially using a base of ebony flesh, 9440 bones, with volcano brown, 9268 from Core. I decided I wanted a less human skin tone, and that gives me the volcano brown is kind of a cool. You could also use nut brown from Bones. It's kind of a purpley brown. What's our time at, Justin?
We were at 11:20.
Oh, great, perfect. We're good. So I'm essentially going in, and because I'm just blocking in, I'm going to use a a long stroke because there's some of these mussels have little striations on them.
I'm shocked. We have 150 people at 11 a.m. watching us.
Wow. You guys, this must be a good time slot for you guys, huh?
Yeah.
Like, if it's a good time slot, then that's great. This is all information, right? Because we're trying to figure out, like, what the best times of day are for everybody to watch and stuff like that. So we know that you're all over the world, and everybody's got a different time zone. But if there is some magic time slot and it turns out to be 11 a.m., then awesome. Because I've got it. Ha, 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 ha.
I actually make my own herb butter, too, planer.
Oh, my God.
I love it. I freeze it, and then,
So
my mouth
silly.
is salivating now.
Oh, my. I just made a ribeye last night, actually, in cast iron. Because I missed all the good sales over the weekend at the grocery store, and the only thing they had left was steak, and I will always go for ribeye over other steak.
So back when I was a health nut, you remember when I was in really, really, really good shape?
Really ripped, yeah?
Yeah, really ripped.
Before you fell into the sedentary lifestyle?
Correct. So 3 years ago, when I was really ripped, bodybuilding even, I ate a ribeye every night for dinner, and let me tell you, that's not healthy.
Well, if you're on keto, it's perfectly healthy.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing a low-carb diet, it's not advisable if you're doing a ton of carbs. It definitely, your body reacts differently.
It's what I needed to build muscle. So
right, you need a lot of protein. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm on a
I do.
higher protein diet now, too, because like many women, I realized I was getting way too little protein. So I actually got my protein up to a decent portion of my diet, finally.
Hey, Jacob, how you doing? Jacob Jansen, everyone.
Yay! Applause for Jacob Jansen. And now we're going to block in a big dark blue shadow underneath the arm with blue liner. I am going to not darken everything under the arm because I still want these muscle masses to show up. So essentially, I'm not going to use my highlight color down here, but I'm going to use my shadow color and leave some on my midtone to be highlights just for fun. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. Here we are. We are progressing. I need to line under that big... It's okay to line under big veins like this where they pop out of the arm, especially when it's not much darker than our base coat. You don't want to put a big line. If we were using a regular skin tone, you would not want to use a big dark lining color underneath these veins. You'd want to use a more subtle shade. So, all right, let's just do another highlight after I hit this vein. I think I'm going to mix another highlight color by adding some rosy skin to my volcano brown. Now, this is a trick that I like to do when I'm doing non-human skin tones, even if you're doing something like a goblin or an orc that's green or greenish. Mixing in some normal skin tones for your highlights, or in the case of green skin, it's often good to just follow the patterns of a normal, like, human face, so like make the nose reddish and the ears reddish. But if you introduce a little bit of like normal human to your monsters, it can make them look more realistic. So in this case, I can see that I need more highlights, because although he's got dark skin and he's definitely coming up, you can see the highlights, he needs a little bit more. The key to keeping him dark-skinned is to make sure that my highlights stay small. You want to use them everywhere so that everything stands out, but you want them to stay small so that you don't get a medium skin tone instead of a dark skin tone. It's all in how much area you leave dark.
Actually, Nomad, I think I saw your email. The problem is I don't typically respond to emails because I get so many every day. But I'm pretty sure I read yours. I just hadn't. I usually just don't respond. Most of my interaction with you guys comes here during the show, because I find that it's better to just kind of talk to you guys.
It's a lot faster for sure, because otherwise you lose a lot of your day in private interactions. I note that on my Patreon too. Oh, and I should mention my Patreon, because soon, and actually you should not sign up today. I'm going to say that because I'm going to run a special offer very, very soon, and it's going to be a great deal. So you should wait if you were thinking about my Patreon. I will talk about it tomorrow during the big stream.
Patreon.com/paintingbig.
Yes, painting big.
All
Paint
in
big,
word.
think bigger. It's great. All right, so my ratio here, by the way, guys, about 3 drops of Volcano Brown and about 1 drop of 9067 Rosy Shadow. So using a real skin tone. But you can see how it looks like a natural progression. Like if you made a highlight for Volcano Brown, it would probably be this color. So rosy skin is a good call. The reason it is that although it's a regular skin tone, but it's also got a lot of red in it. And Volcano Brown has, there we go. You know, you could have just said, hey, Ann, make sure they can see the numbers. But no, he has to come over here and stick his hands into the frame being Justin, getting disruptive.
A little further down.
Up. Very well. There we go. All right. And I added a drop of water. You can, buy little dropper bottles from Reaper or other places. They are a very good resource in kind of learning how to control your paint consistency. This is probably about, I'm going to guess it's about a 2-to-1 right now, paint to water. And we're just going to hit the very high points on the muscles, on the head and stuff right now with this. What's our time, Justin?
11:26.
Wait, it can't be 11:26. Or no, I mean, how many minutes have we been on? My apologies.
Have we been live?
Yeah.
31 minutes.
Oh, okay, perfect. So we'll just this is going to be our highlight step, and then we're going to assess.
That's great. One of these days, I'm actually going to have a child on the way, and it's going to be funny when I get to announce that to you guys. Because that's where it's going to happen. I'm going to announce it on Twitch.
Yeah,
First
I can
and
totally
foremost.
see that. You guys get to know first.
You guys get to know before my family does. My family, mainly because my family better be watching this stuff.
That's how you can train them to do it. Tell your mom, you're not getting notice, of me having a kid unless you watch my stream. Boy, that would probably piss off your parents.
Probably. But I think they'd get over it quickly, though.
Doo-doo-doo.
I know there's no giveaway today, Bob, and no, I am never wearing pants.
You can always assume that Justin is not wearing pants. That is a constant. So what I'm using today, just as a reminder today, guys, I'm not using a DaVinci. I'm actually using a Reaper Aught5, which was the brush that I used for everything when I was a staff painter for Reaper. Oh, except base coating. Base coating a dragon with an Aught5 would be even worse than base coating a Maldekar or painting a Maldekar in a week with an Aught0. Let's see here. So I'm pretty much just picking out like the little places where the muscles are coming together here. Those are nice little details, so I'm hitting them with a highlight. I'm hitting the top part of the muscle where the light would fall. And I hit the bottom part of the muscle here because that's the stomach is going to start bulging out. So you see, now you really see the muscles come out. See how much that picks out those muscles? Now you can see the musculature. So pretty much that's just 2 highlights. That's your base coat, your shadow, 1 highlight, and then the second highlight is where it starts to all get definition. Rar, he says, rar. Every monster says rar. That's what they say when I'm painting them anyway. All right, so now we're just going to hit kind of the tips of things and add just a little tiny bit. You don't want to cover over your previous highlight. You want to add a little additional highlight so that everything starts standing out as good as it is on the chest. And making sure your highlights stay small is key for dark skin because you want it to still stay dark. You want all of the features to stand out, so you've got to highlight it if you want that. But keep your highlights very, very small. Just enough to pick out detail. Get the side of the face there. Rawr. That's a little bit light. I might have to push that down. And if you think that you went a little overboard with your highlighting, just grab your volcano brown and kind of paint it over the top and blend it in. You can always go back to your previous layer to adjust things. All right, let's do the head since you guys like bald heads. Remember, it's a cylinder, so the highlight on the top of the head is going to be pretty broad, and then it's going to drop off once you go down to the side. So there's that other side. So it just kind of slowly blends down more toward a different color. This is going to be our top highlight, so we want it to be smaller and really focused around the center of the head. Of course, he's got some hair up there that's going to get in the way. So we're pretty much just highlighting up toward that hair. So I'm leaving a lot of my previous highlight, and I'm shrinking. This highlight's going to be smaller than my previous highlight. And mostly, the top of the head's going to be rounded, so your highlight is also going to be rounded. See how that looks? So now it kind of gives you the appearance of the light hitting the center of the head, and then kind of falling off as it goes down farther. And I'm not really even blending at this point. You can see my brush strokes, but for a gaming mini, this is just peachy. If you wanted it to be a competition mini, you just have to spend a little extra time blending it. Or doing textures, or whatever you like to do to get a cool effect on a more display model. So I'm going to get his forehead here because I didn't get that. But I hope you can see how the difference that even just tiny little lighter highlights make when you're trying to do dark skin. That's how you get all your features to come out, all your features to show up on something this dark. And of course, it's hard to see some of it because we've still got a lot of white here. You know, we've got all his hair. But we'll do, if I do glowing eyes, I'll have to paint his hair first so that we can get a frame of reference for glowing. And I'm just going to pick up some of these awesome wrinkles and scars over here by highlighting the edges. It's looking pretty good. All right. So there, if we look at his face and his chest turned out really well.
The list for this show. So when you say list, you mean like the paints and the minis? Because that particular information will be in the YouTube video.
Okay, Collins said that he was going to get it up somewhere.
Did he?
I don't know if he did.
All of the show assets, as far as like the nuts and bolts, which is the paintbrush, all that crap, that's all going to be in the YouTube description. So now, additional like information, I don't know if you plan on doing like a guide or something that's written.
No, essentially what I did is I actually pre-decided the subject matter for the coming weeks and gave that to Collins so that we could kind of pre-advertise and people could know what was coming up. But I'm not sure if he actually posted it. It's for future episodes of this show.
Yeah, for future shows, yes.
Yeah.
Well, for future shows, that would have to go on our website, right? I mean...
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, maybe Facebook, maybe not Instagram. Maybe Facebook then, or the website?
I'm not sure. It would make more sense to put it on the website and link to it on Facebook or somewhere else. You know, being efficient and all that.
Right.
Chin.
Actually, Dr. Bob, that's going to change here pretty quick. This was actually the inaugural show for
yes,
our Pro
the
Tips.
Inaugural show. This is our first time doing this, but we're going to do it tomorrow and the next day as well. It's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, folks.
Yeah, so you can basically plan for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. And today was really kind of the test to see if we were going to have the numbers, but it looks like our numbers are good, and if you guys enjoy this, then this will be, we expected this to be primarily popular on YouTube since they're going to be shorter episodes with, a targeted goal in mind, and then it's going to be just, content rich, and that's it.
But if you guys like this format and want to hang out with us every day, we're not going to complain. And we would like to see good stream numbers on this show because we always like to see good stream numbers. It actually keeps us in work. So... convinces the bosses that yes, this is a good endeavor for Reaper to spend resources on, to see you guys on watching us. And hopefully you are very happy with how Mr. Giant here has turned out, because I'm pretty happy with him. You can really see how his skin came out. Rawr, he says. So yeah. All Ann, every day, all day. Dr. Bob, we'd need to be making a lot more money on this before we can do that. I'm up for it, but, more subs, more subs. Yes, Justin's going to be full-time video producing. Yes, that's the idea, right, Sigwolf?
I've basically been doing that already.
Yeah.
That's
yes, his pecs are popping, Planar Crossroads, yes.
Well, thank you.
So see. Well, no, not you, the Giant. Giant is more ripped. This is Justin back when, he was actually working out, guys.
She's actually not far off. That's what I looked like 3 years ago.
Really? You had serious abs then?
Abs? I had the beginnings of abs.
All right, wow.
That was the last piece to come together, and then it just all went to...
Damn, what happened?
All went to hell. You meet very, very nice ladies, and then... you start eating lots of dinners. They make you comfortable, and then, that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Or in my case, you meet a nice guy who takes you out to dinners at fancy restaurants that you really love.
Actually, Dr. Bob, before I was doing this, I was downstairs helping Cindy run the internet department. That's what I did before.
But he's much happier doing this.
This is much more in line with my passion, yes.
And with your degree, isn't it?
I actually don't have a degree.
Oh, okay.
I was at one point I was in the program at UNT for it, but then
I see.
Wasn't there very long because I then started a company. That company then later got sold, so I went over this mountain of stuff, came back down, and then I got a job here. And that was 6 years ago, a long time.
I'm fighting that Princess Zelda like, you know, because I actually lost a lot of weight, you know, my last relationship. And I kind of want to, I'm very health focused. Anne is very health focused. So essentially for me, it's like, okay, I can be like happy and all this, but I still need to exercise and eat decent because I want to be healthy. Having had a number of health problems really brings that home to you. Cannot sacrifice on the health. Otherwise, you don't get to enjoy your awesome relationship for as long as you would like. There we go.
Agreed. And actually, honestly, and this is, I was going to say, I was going to compliment you, Anne, because I feel like you've come a long way from, you know,
what I was
back
before.
in the day. Yeah,
oh,
you've done a really good job.
I've lost like 60, 70 pounds.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
you've maintained
Crazy
it,
time.
which is nice. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've gained a couple pounds since David and I started going out to eat, but...
So you lost it, and I found it plus some. So I will say that
I gave it to you. It was a gift.
In 3 years, I've literally put on 80 pounds.
Oh, no.
100% what happened.
Justin, come back to us, Justin. I want you to be around for a good long time. You have to, like, you know, fight it. Fight it, Justin.
I got to fight it. You're right. Let's do it.
It takes focus.
Let's all work through this together, Twitch chat. We're gonna lose weight
Twitch
together.
chat. Let's lose 5 pounds together.
Yeah, anyone who wants to lose weight can join. We'll lose weight together.
We'll do the Reaper Weight Loss and Painting Club.
We will. We'll create a Facebook page and we'll all hold each other accountable.
I'm just cleaning up some more muscles here since we have a little time, but I guess it's probably almost time to because he's looking really good here. I'm liking him. Liking him quite a lot. So you can see the little highlights that I did right there are showing up underneath, but you know they're not as bright as they would be over here because this is going to get more light. So you always got to watch where your light is falling. You see it very bright highlights up here because the light would fall right down in this area on top of the head. All right. Can you lose weight and still eat brownies? You actually can, Josie, if you're on keto, but you have to bake your own brownies, which is what I did with almond flour. Then you could eat brownies and be low carb and still lose weight.
To be fair, when I was working out really well, I was in the gym 3 hours a day. I was in the gym a lot.
Wow.
I was in the gym 3 hours a day.
Painting on the elliptical.
I actually ate a lot of crap still. I mean, but that's if you go to the gym 3 hours a day, and that's ridiculous, and that's not reasonable.
I never found that necessary. I like to walk for about 40, 45 minutes a day. And if you walk fast, you can burn a fair number of calories that way. It's all the calorie balance and nutrient balance.
Mine was an hour and a half in the morning, hour and a half in the evening, and it was always began with cardio, and then I finished my workout.
Yeah, you also were doing muscle building though, so.
Yes, very much
Yeah, I did it for 2 years, Planner Crossroads. It's actually how I lost the bulk of my weight was keto, and then I transitioned off of it into just low carb. So I'm still very low carb, but I was fat adapted. I just don't need the keto anymore. You could resub now or Friday. It depends because some shows are still needing new subs to unlock freeze. So probably you want to wait until
I would target
tomorrow or Thursday.
I would target the show that you want to see stuff for.
Yeah, if you love like Reaper Toolbox Dragon Wednesday or you love Reaper Live, then you should resub during those shows, Rings Raccoon, because that helps unlock the free stuff giveaways.
Absolutely.
Oh, Trasharama, you lost a lot of weight on keto too? Awesome. Yeah, I tried to take up running Elwindale, but I've got some misalignment issues. So I started to get some pain in my hip and stuff. So I had to stop and do some physical therapy to kind of correct those. All of us sit here hunched over in chairs all day, and it really screws up our bodies. And then when we try to exercise, it tends to exacerbate those misalignment issues we've already got. So I started doing a lot of realignment exercises, kind of like yoga and physical therapy stuff. I do them at night. There we go. Got a little bit of a highlight. There you go, guys. Dark skin. And you can see it, right? You can actually see the features on the dark skin, even though it's really, really dark. And that's the key right there. And it didn't take too long, and it didn't take too much work, and I didn't even need to do a lot of blending. You can still see my brush strokes, but it still looks great even from this close. So, the Reaper Weight Loss and Painting Club group. Yeah. I'm glad you guys there's so many runners in here. I always wanted to take up running.
I identified with that nomad.
Yeah, I didn't do black liner trash because I always liked a more subtle effect. Either I was going for subtle or I was going for, I guess, more realistic. When you do black for lining, you get a cartoony look. And although there are styles and people who like that, most people trying to line seemed to be looking for more of a natural shadow. So I went, or they were going for something crazy like, blue on browns or, reds, things like that. So that's why we don't have a black liner, because that's like, it gives such a cartoon effect. And it's really hard. It doesn't work very well when you thin it down, like unlike brown liner, where if you thin it down, you can get a very nice natural shadow for a lot of different colors. Black is a very harsh color, and it tends to distort other colors. Like it'll, over yellowish colors, it'll turn them green and things like that. So I just didn't do a black liner at that point. And then later on, it was just like, you could just use our pure black and thin it down and put extra flow improver in it, and it'll make a nice heavy line for you still, because it has good coverage. So all those reasons, really, why I didn't go to black. Tried to avoid using true black and true white. That's an artist thing, Dr. Bob. I wouldn't say, I would argue against not using pure white. Like, I think that true white is absolutely a must-have, but you only use full-strength white on white objects with their highlights and on shiny objects. Because if you look around you in the world, most highlights are not pure white. So that's where that thought comes from. And the same thing with true black. True black, carbon black, is a very dead color, and so that's another reason no black liner. But it doesn't show up very often in nature, unless you actually have a black animal, or you're seeing, a very high contrast something, or you've got like black soot in a fire, ashes, stuff like that. Things like that. So that's where that comes from. It actually comes from oil painting. A lot of oil painters used to mix their own blacks to get a more complex color. All right. I think we're good. Like, I think I have a painted fire giant with skin here. So probably we should wrap it up. Any other questions, guys? Real quick.
I don't have any questions.
You don't have... Justin has absolutely no questions.
Oh, actually, real quick while I'm thinking about it. Submit your emote ideas to my my email, if you would, please, because now we have so many emote slots. I don't know how to fill them all.
Yeah.
So
yeah, ideas. Give us ideas. Ideas for this stream or ideas for all streams?
All streams. Emotes for all. I've got like 30 slots. So
30 slots.
we have
Oh
a
my
bunch
God.
of emotes.
And I can't fill all of them. You sit on your black cat when she's on the black chair. Get this. I could see that.
reaperlive at reapermini.com. Trashorama.
Reaperlive at reapermini.com. You need a little song. Will I be doing a pro tip show on hair? Yeah, actually, probably red hair will be one, because I have a cool dwarf to paint for that. And we'll talk about hair in general when I do that one. But I probably will do some hair, like different hair too, because the dwarf has kind of wavy hair, so, because he's got a beard, obviously. So maybe I'll find a female with some straight hair, because that's a totally different proposition, Dr. Bob. But yeah, hair is on the list.
All right. Well, in that case.
Yeah, this was awesome. This was a fun little short show. I like it.
Yes,
it's
it was.
Better. It's not better. It's different than Dragon Wednesday, where we sit here for an hour and a half, which we will be doing tomorrow. We'll be doing this show in the morning, and then I will be back in the afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Central Time to do the Dragon Dance of Death. I think we're going to paint the base tomorrow. I'm in the mood for rocks. I think I want to rock out.
All right, we'll rock out.
Yes. Yes, I'll be doing using a very large brush for the rocks. Let's see, we'll be using brushes that are like this, big flat artist brushes to paint the rocks. So.
And don't forget, today is Terrain Tuesday still.
Oh no!
Yes.
Is Ed done with his tree bucket yet?
His tree bucket is not done now.
Oh no, it's a bucket of trees still.
It's coming together though, and he's enjoying it. So.
Yes, yeah, well, it is pretty cool. What time tomorrow morning? It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be 11 a.m. Central USA time. So yeah, so we'll do this pretty much Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, guys. Ed's house brush.
Oh,
I don't know if Ed's house brush is not a very good house brush. See, I'm picky on all brushes, even house brushes. Isn't that scary? Like, this is what being a high-end painter does for you. Is that even your house brushes aren't good enough anymore. All right, guys, let us wrap it here.
I have a raid
You have a raid?
I do.
Who are we
I'm
raiding?
gonna start the raid now. It is Jimmy, our buddy Jimmy.
Jimmy
and
the brush.
Their beautiful new baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Have you not seen her?
I don't think so.
She's very cute.
Is she? She's a real life miniature.
She is a real life. Yeah, I told them not to paint her though.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Well, yeah. Not without non-toxic paints. Goodbye.
But
Have a
since
great
you're-
day, everybody. I'll
have
be
a
back.
great have a great day. We'll see you today again at 3 for Terrain Tuesday, and
Yes.
send our Reaper love to Jimmy.
Yep. Send her Reaper love.
All right. See you guys.
Laters.